Today's episode brought to you by Mazo Media. Neutral density filters. Sounds pretty complex, but I'm going to help you demystify it in this episode of Future Camera Guy. Hello and welcome to another episode of Future Camera Guy. I'm your host, Mateus Clement. Today we're going to talk about neutral density filters. This is quite often a feature that's used more for the professional, serious enthusiast. Neutral density filters are just that. They are neutral and they have a density. The density is indicated by the number that they have. You may find an ND filter that is ND2, ND4, ND8. And what that means is how much light it is reducing. In my hand here, I have a pretty dark one, and this is an ND8, which means only 1/8 of the light is actually going to get inside of your lens. Now, you may have watched a few of my other videos and wonder, why would I want to reduce the amount of light in my shot? Well, when I talked about circular polarizers, I also talked about the advantage you have when you reduce the amount of light in to create more creative shots. Good example might be when I was out shooting some macro photography of flowers. It was a really bright sunny day, so I had to have the ISO at 100. I had to have the f-stop way high, f18, f22, something like that. And what it was doing was it was causing everything in the shot to be in focus. The flower, the bush, the trees in the background, the kids playing. It was very distracting. It wasn't really allowing me to bring the focus I wanted onto the flower. By adding the ND8 filter onto there, I was able to reduce the light by 1/8, which then in turn allowed me to reduce my f-stop to f2.8. When you have an f-stop of 2.8, you have a really creamy background that is out of focus. It really detracts when you have lots of things happening in the background when you're really trying to focus on, let's say, a flower or a child or a beer can. Whatever it might be, if you're trying to focus on a shot, if you have a high f-stop, it will be impossible to be able to do that. That's where the ND filters come in. Personally, I've found to use ND filters in the higher range. I've tried ND filter 2 and 4, and some people say, well, you can just add those together and have a multiplier effect, but then you have more pieces of glass in between your subject and your sensor ultimately. There's not much point in buying a $800 lens if you're putting a bunch of these filters in front of them. It can distort the image. And usually when I'm looking for that effect for a shallow depth of field, I want it to be quite intense. So I use an ND8. I have one for each one of my lenses. And sometimes what I can do is if I need just a little bit more, I'll put the polarizing lens on the front of that to help stack the effect. But I'm pretty hard pressed to think of times where I've needed something more than the ND8 as well as a circular polarizer. This can also be really useful for those of us who shoot video on a DSLR. When we want to be able to have a shallow depth of field for a more artistic effect, the ND filters are great. Hey folks, thanks for watching. Just a friendly reminder that I work on commission, so if you go to buy something in the store and let them know that Matt helped you, that'd be greatly appreciated. Helps me earn a few dollars and continue making these videos to help you learn about technology and how to make the best out of it. Please check out more of my videos down below, and also you can subscribe to learn when new videos come out. Thanks.